G'day everyone, Sloth here. Now, we have a new beta build. Look, these notes dropped 14 minutes ago, so we are going to read through the changes. I'm mostly going to focus on Hunter and Shaman because that's what I play. So I'm going to skim over these things extremely fast and get to Hunter, see if there's any Hunter things. You can see my beta updating in the background. Okay, Death Knight hero talent changes, Frost getting even more changes, Unholy getting some tuning, a bunch of numbers there, damage increased, decreased. Druid hero talent tuning. Keeper of the Grove tuning, Wildstalker tuning. So this looks like we're hitting the tuning phase. It looks like they're focusing on mostly hero talents. So we are coming towards the end of beta, people. That's what this means. Some changes here for balanced druids. It looks like mostly numbers, percentages going up and down. Little change to astral power here. But it's mostly, I can see numbers. Calls down every 25 seconds was 30, 25% was 20. All ability damage reduced. Convoke the spirits will now prefer to cast bite. There we go. Okay, Hunter, here we go, boys. Implosive trap cooldown reduced to 60 seconds, was 90 seconds. That is bonkers good. Now, this is our new trap that knocks things up in the air. Instead of high explosive trap, we've got implosive trap. Massive reduction to its cooldown. That's OP. Cast time of steady shot reduced very slightly. Okay. Felt like we were casting steady shot too much or for too long. I'll take that. Marksmanship. Okay, looks like we got numbers changes. Arcane shot increase, penetrating shots, critical strike damage bonus increase to 40% of your critical strike chance was 20%. Okay. That's just a damage buff. Aim shot damage buff, rapid fire damage buff, trick shots effectiveness reduced. Okay, so they're lowering trick shots, they're lowering our cleave, but they're increasing the base damage of the abilities that do cleave. So this will pretty much neutralize the AoE, but it'll be a buff to single target. So that's kind of nice. Mongoose Fury reverted as they said they were going to in the last video. Sorry, my that noise is my WhatsApp going off. As soon as there's new patch drops, new changes drop, my guild's WhatsApp group goes ba-ding, 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 usually with people crying their eyes out. Specifically today, it's our Ret Paladin who's a big baby. Here we go. Okay, flanking strike reduced back to 15 yards. Flanking strike is no longer a passive. Flanking strike once again gates twice the damage bonus from tip of the spear. I hope that this has been reverted to the spender version of flanking strike, but we'll have to check that out on the beta in a minute. Bloody claws. This is lots of people had mentioned bloody claws as needing a change. Now also causes kill command to extend the duration of. Oh, okay. So they're basically making the GCDs that you use to cast kill command and get tip of the spear um, not not chunk into your Mongoose Fury window. And so now you'll be able to extend that window um, just this basically the same amount that you've used to cast kill commands. So your kill commands in that window are kind of free in this way, meaning that you can weave in your kill commands and get your Mongoose Fury windows. I think this is quite a good solution. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. WhatsApp is so annoying. I'm going to turn it off. There we go. All right, it's gone now. I'll have to read their crying later. Yeah, so this is a good solution to this. It means you can keep your Mongoose Fury window, which everyone wanted. I wasn't bothered either way, whether it was the maintenance buff or the window, but that's what people wanted. So this fixes that, and it also is a bit of a buff to haste. Flanking strike now costs 15 focus, so they did change it to the spender. That's the only changes they had for survival. I'm okay with that. I'm very disappointed to not see any Beast Mastery changes here, but you know, That's okay. I'm happy with this, and I'm happy with this. So these are fine. They're nothing like what I wanted, but we're basically in the tuning phase now. So we're not going to get a lot more changes. There's other priorities, I guess, before beta is finished. So all the feedback in my previous video has not been taken on right now. Understandably, I'm sure they don't even read my feedback, but all the feedback basically that was given on the forums for Hunter hasn't been addressed, except for the implosive trap feeling like it was too long of a cooldown and reverting survival. And then this is just numbers tweaking. So, okay, interesting. Uh, right, let's quickly head down to what everyone wants to hear about, which is the shaman changes. Spell, slinger, evocation, mage, blah, blah, blah. Tiny bit for monk. Oh, this is an interesting one. This is what my WhatsApp was going off about. Retribution Paladin, not Retribution Paladin, but Retribution Aura, which all Paladins have access to, has been removed. As part of our process of examining raid buffs, we've come to the decision to remove Aura in order to reduce restrictions on group compositions. We believe that the utility options additional Paladins are able to bring are sufficiently valuable without becoming oppressive. Okay, so I completely agree with this. Paladin had 2 raid buffs rather than 1, and they also have a ton of utility. So we've given Shaman a raid buff. We've taken away this raid buff. I assume they're going to put Ret Aura in some other way, but maybe not at all. Crusader Aura will be put there, and some other small changes. Okay, here we go. Shaman! Melee talents have been moved locations or have their pathfinding updated in all trees. Sky Fury has been added. I haven't done a video about this, so I'm going to read the whole thing, even though everyone saw it yesterday or the day before. Shaman Rework. New ability. Sky Fury. Harness the fury of the Windlord to grant a target ally 2% mastery and empower their auto attacks to have a 20% chance to instantly strike again for 1 hour. It will affect all party members. They've been given a Sky Fury button, which is a raid buff, a 1 hour raid buff, which gives 2% mastery, and it gives the Wind Fury Totem effect. Wind Fury Totem is gone, and Shamans have a raid buff. We're aware of issues with the new Sky Fury raid buff. We expect to address it with hotfixes to the beta tomorrow. Okay, it's not working properly, but this is their intention, is to do some mastery and have Wind Fury built in. So that's all Shamans will have this. New talent, elemental resistance. Healing from... Sorry, I need a cough. All right, I managed to pause in time to get my cough not into the microphone. All right, carrying on. So there's lots of new talents. I'm really not going to read them here. I'm just going to go into the beta to read them on the thing. Voodoo Mastery redesigned. Flurry moved to the enhanced tree, out of the class tree. The cooldown of Gust of Wind has been reduced. Earth Grab and Wind Rush are no longer a choice. Lightning Lasso and Thundershock no longer a choice. And the following talents are now one. And now there's also a ton of new talents for Elemental, which is all I'm going to look at. I'm not qualified to speak on any of the other Shaman trees, Resto, or Enhance. I don't play. I play Elemental, so I'm going to have a look at all of that. And we're going to do that in-game because reading through a wall of text is not fun. Lava Surge removed, made baseline, Inundate, made baseline, trigger rate of Lava Surge has been scaled. This is an interesting change. So they're scaling the Lava Surge procs to be more on single target and less in AoE. Just how the scaling is going to work there, that it's going to be a bit more evened out. Flash of Lightning now increases critical strike. Chance, yep. Swelling, a Maelstrom increases damage of Earthshot. I'm not going to read through. Let's skim over this so that we can get into the game. Maelstrom generation has been significantly changed. Lots of number changes on how Maelstrom will be built. So this will be interesting to see how the Maelstrom economy feels. Ice Fury has changed. Flow of Power no longer increases Maelstrom generation. Stormkeeper has been removed from its choice node. Earth Shock is now a choice node. This is super interesting. I'll show you it in game in a sec. Following talents have been removed, a whole bunch removed, and then it moves on to enhancement, which, enhancement changes look very light. Resto changes look very significant. So we're going to jump in game right now, and we're going to check out. Ooh, this wasn't here last week. This was just data mined, but now it's here. Looks pretty cool. All right, let's quickly update the add-ons while we load in to the Shaman. I'm not going to load into the Hunter. I don't think that that's necessary right now because the changes to survival were the ones we were already expecting. No, we're going to have a quick look because we're a hunter. We're a hunter channel. We're a hunter people. We do hunter things. So we're going to quickly look at how the flanking strike thing is working out while I update add-ons on the other screen. My pro editing skills mean that we just wait through this bloody loading screen here. Here we go. Already in survival spec. We've got the button back for flanking strike. It costs 15 focus. It benefits from tip of the spear and an additional 15% from tip of the spear, so it's better than normal tip of the spear, and it generates 2 stacks of tip of the spear. I prefer this. Some people said that the passive was good. I disagree. I like this much better. I like having this as a big spender. Feels good. On-demand jumpy jump, and then the big thing, one of the big changes was this. So kill command is now going to extend the duration of Mongoose Fury. So your Mongoose windows are going to be really cool. They're going to be a bit longer because you'll be weaving kill commands in for tip of the spear stacks, and you'll be, you won't be punished for doing that. This isn't an extension of the window. It's purely letting you push kill command in between them without ruining the window. It means that the window will be longer overall. Like, say there's a boss fight situation, you will be able to have that window for a longer portion of that time, which is like, it's a good thing. It means you won't finish the window and restart. What I mean is your overall windows per boss fight will be less, right? So you'll want to strategically work out when they should be, because ramping up the window and down and stuff will change quite often. Okay, let's go to the Shaman. Oh, don't DC me, bruh. Here we go. Let's go. And we're going to check out not just read the wall of text, we're going to just look at the tree for Ellie, and here it is. Right, first things first, let's just pick Stormbringer to get that over with. More than one target, sure. After using temperature, next trait here, less damage, yep. Right, let's just do that. And now... I'm stupid. Never mind. Okay, 31 points here, 21 points here. Let's remove these. And we will go from the start. Okay, so bit of a unique situation where the Ellie tree will start with a choice node. You're going to have the Earth Shock, which is the cheaper Maelstrom instant cast, or you're going to have the Elemental Blast, which is more Maelstrom, cast time of, looks like 2 seconds minus haste, and more damage and the buff that comes afterwards for 10 seconds. So pretty cool that you can choose those right off the bat. And then this is the new situation. Now this looks stupid at first glance, but make sure that you understand the difference between these two earthquakes, and maybe something more obvious would be good, but let's read them. Cause the earth within 8 yards of your target to tremble and break, dealing damage over 7 seconds, 5% chance to knock the enemy over, multiple uses can overlap. The important part is within 8 yards of your target, and then this one, within 8 yards of the target location. Okay, so if you use this one, it is going to be the target reticle on the floor. I'm not going to build Maelstrom and do it, but it'll be the circle on the floor that we're used to having. This one will cast the earthquake on your target and then around it. So you won't have the target reticle on the floor. You won't have the extra click or the macro to use. It will just use it at whatever you're targeting at the time. So, and that's a choice depending on what you want to do with that. Okay, here we have Elemental Fury. Your damaging crits deal 250% damage instead of 200. That's pretty standard. And then here we have another choice node, which we've had before, which is the Storm Elemental and the Fire Elemental. So starting off with 3 out of 4 choice nodes is pretty crazy. I mean, this one isn't really a choice. It's just how you want the ability to function. This one is the one we're used to. This is the one that we're not used to. How it worked previously is that you just had Earthshock, and then Elemental Blast was a talent that, like all the way down here in the tree, that overrode Earthshock. So now you've got this choice here. So pretty interesting way that that's working. Now you've got a choice here, which is Aftershock and Surge of Power. Big fan of these talents. They're pretty cool to use. Interesting. You get your cooldown reduction or your extra overloads on single target or whatever it is. I'm a big fan of how Aftershock feels to play. Feels good. Extra charge on Lava Burst is right here, and then Flash of Lightning is here. Now this is slightly different, right? Increase the critical strike chance of Lightning Bolt and Chain Lightning by 10%. That's a big number. Casting them reduces the cooldown of your nature spells by 1 second. Now, this is huge. Okay, it's way underrated, this piece of utility. Casting Lightning Bolt or Chain Lightning reduces the cooldown of your nature spells. This is all your nature spells. All of them. So it is your I think your kick counts, your thunderstorm counts, your storm elemental counts. Like, there's so many great pieces of utility that count. I think even Cap Totem counts. Like, there's so many, and this is really undervalued. So really good that this is kept in there, and it's not really kept behind anything. So I think you'll see this talked about more in the future. LE Shaman, Mythic Plus mains have discussed it a lot, but not really anyone else. So that's where we're at. This is a great talent. Over here we have the Ice Fury rework. Now, it's totally changed the way it works. It is a passive now, and so many people thought that Ice Fury was like the problem with LE Shaman. They were like, I don't want to push it. There's too many like 30-second cooldowns with Stormkeeper and Ice Fury, and a whole bunch of other, and Primordial Wave, and a whole bunch of stuff to push. And it was a little bit clunky because of that. Let's hope that this feels less clunky. Casting Lava Burst will have a chance to replace your next Frost Shock with Ice Fury, stacking up to 2 times. Hurls ice at the target, dealing damage and causing your next 2, not 4, but 2 Frost Shocks to deal lots more damage and generate Maelstrom. Now, this looks like it is not got a cast time. I really hope that that is true. We'll have a look at that in a minute. But at the moment, if that is a proc that is a instant cast, that'd be good, because obviously you're going to be lava bursting, and then you're going to want to move using frost shock. You know, you'll use frost shock while you're running around, and if that procs into an ice fury and you can't keep running, you have to stop to cast the ice fury. That would be bad. But I assume that it works the way we hope, so that is a great rework. Everyone's going to appreciate that. That's one less button for button bloat. It just replaces frost shock, so you've already got that on your bars. Very good. Unrelenting Calamity reduces the cast time of lightning bolt and chain lightning, and increases the duration of earthquake. Cool. Master of Elements. Casting Lava Burst increases the damage of your next nature's physical or frost spell by 15%. So a lot of the times you're going to use that. Physical means the earth shock is nature damage, but earthquake is physical damage, right? They sound like they should both be physical damage, but this earth shock is actually nature damage, and earthquake is physical damage. So this works on your earthquakes as well. Okay, fusion of elements. After casting Ice Fury, the next time you cast a nature and a fire spell, you additionally cast an elemental blast at your target for 60% effectiveness. So that's pretty cool. There's going to be a lot of different elements happening then. You're casting Lava Burst. You proc an Ice Fury. Your Frost Shock becomes Ice Fury. You Frost Shock you spend the Ice Fury. Then after spending that Ice Fury, you've got 2 empowered Frost Shocks. You've got and a nature spell and a fire spell will cast the elemental blast. So your Frost Shocks won't, but your other schools will. So yeah, pretty interesting. I assume that there's some sort of window where you have to spend these in, so you'll probably want to track that, make sure you get them off in time before it disappears. Storm Frenzy. Your next Chain Lightning or Lightning Bolt has a 40% reduced cast time after casting Earth Shock, Elemental Blast, Earthquake. And you can accumulate up to 2 charges. They seem to be doing this 2 charges thing a lot, so that you don't munch procs, right? This stacks up to 2 times. This can accumulate 2 charges, and that means you won't be munching them as much. So let's say you're spamming, let's say you Earth Shock twice in a row, or you Earthquake twice in a row, you gain one of these charges, you're not going to munch it straight away. Same thing with Ice Fury. Okay, moving on here. Excuse me. Increases your maximum maelstrom. Increases the damage of Earth Shock, Elemental Blast, and Earthquake, your spenders. Elemental Fury increases critical strike damage in addition. An additional 25%. Elemental Fury. Is that this? Huh? Why does Elemental Fury increase critical strike damage by an additional, and it's not Primordial Fury increases critical strike damage? Is this damage? Yes, this is damage. Oh, okay, so additional. So they don't want it to seem like a multiplier. It's additive. So they've mentioned this talent. Okay, cool. Fine. Increases the maelstrom generated by lightning bolt and lava burst. So this is like single target type situation. Cool. Elemental Unity. While a storm elemental is active, your nature damage dealt is increased, and while the fire elemental is active, your fire damage dealt is increased. Okay. Your cooldowns are stronger? I don't know. It's fine, whatever. I'm not super inspired by that, but that's absolutely fine. Now, what's over here? Casting Frost Shock or Ice Fury increases the damage of your next Lava Burst. Okay, so that's, yeah, we've had this before. Because it's a passive now, it's really not something you have to think about as much anymore. It's just going to happen. Because it used to be like your next X amount, so yeah, not a big deal. While lightning shield is active, your nature damage dealt is increased by 8%. That's quite a lot. I could see you skipping this on some fire builds or something, but yeah, it's pretty cool. You'll have to remember to keep lightning shield up. It can drop off. It's an hour, but if you get hit a bunch of times, it disappears, pretty sure. I haven't played Ellie this season in season 4. I played it in season 3, but it's been a few months, so forgive me for getting some things wrong here. Casting Lava Burst has a 25% chance to cause your next lightning bolt or chain lightning to cast to trigger elemental overload additional 2 times. That's the same as before. Lava Burst has a 25% chance. Yep. Imbuing your flame tongue increases fire damage by 5%. Yep, seen that before. Increases the duration of your elementals by 20%. Remember this one because there's some more elemental summoning things from elsewhere in the tree. And is there some here? No, there's one down here, I'm pretty sure. Reduces the cooldown of Flame Shock. Flame Shock deals damage faster. We had that before. Eye of the Storm reduces the Maelstrom cost. Now, all the Maelstrom costs have changed, so it'll be interesting to see how that feels later. Imbuing your lightning shield with the element of lightning for 1 hour, giving lightning bolt and chain lightning a chance to call down 2 thunder strikes on your target for nature damage. Again, it's just like lots of passive nature damage. This would be like lightning build central, but maybe you'll skip this in fire builds, assuming there is such a thing. Increases the damage of your overloads. Now, overloads was like completely reworked, right? Your mastery now increases all elemental and physical damage. And then, secondarily, your lightning bolt, lava burst, and chain lightning casts have a chance to trigger a second time, but only dealing 25% of normal damage, and it generates less maelstrom. So there's quite a big change here. The overloads thing will not be as crazy for proc rates of lava bursts, but it also just increases all damage by a certain amount. So it's a bit sort of less specific and more general, but that'll be a better stat in total for it. So that's good. And this will increase that damage by 10%. So I assume that means from 25% to 35%, not from 25% to 27.5%, right? So that is actually a much bigger increase than it looks. Flame shock damage has a chance to generate maelstrom. Your damaging spells incite the earth around you to come to your aid for 6 seconds, repeatedly dealing nature damage to your most recently attacked target. So this is worded a bit strange. It says incite the earth around you to come to your aid, but then it says dealing damage to your most recently attacked target. So I assume this is like it used to be. I think this was some sort of Azerite trait or something, and it'll just rumble the ground beneath your target. Over here we've got Equilibrium. I believe we've had this before. Dealing damage will increase all damage dealt by 7%, and it occurs every 30 seconds. So, you know, for 10 seconds every 30 seconds, you get damage. But it's only when you deal each school, right? Fire, frost, and nature. So you need to deal like one of each, and then this will start for 10 seconds. Elemental Blast counts as all of them, so Elemental Blast triggers this in totality. Ascendants are still here, still a 3-minute cooldown, still works the same as before. We've got Stormkeeper here, 1-minute cooldown, works the same as before, pretty sure. It triggers an elemental overload on every target, yep. It still says if you already know it, you gain an extra charge. I don't see it anywhere else in the tree though, so that's fine. When your storm elemental or fire elemental expires, it leaves a lesser elemental to continue attacking for 15 seconds. This was an Azurite trait as well, I'm pretty sure, back in BFA. It's pretty fun. It was much more fun in BFA when you procced an elemental, and then it left behind a little one, and then you could proc another big one, and you'd have a little one and a big one at the same time. But you know, this is cool, and maybe we'll have tier sets like that in the future, so that's cool. Primordial Wave is still here on a 30-second cooldown. I swear it was 45. Blast your target, applying Flame Shock. Next Lava Burst will trigger on all targets. 80% of normal damage. Yep, same as it was. That's cool. Mountains Will Fall is similar to before, but obviously with the Mastery rework, it's had to change. Earth Shock, Elemental Blast, and Earthquake can trigger your Mastery Elemental Overlord at 50% effectiveness. Overloaded Earthquakes do not knock enemies down. Okay, so you can't just get like a million kicks for free, but your Mastery will work with your spenders with this, which is a great talent. We've got a choice node here. Cooldown of Ascendance is reduced, so you can have a 2-minute cooldown. Or Premonitions, your haste is increased by 25% while Ascendance is active, and its duration is increased by 3 seconds. I think the 3 seconds is a bit lame. How long does this last? 15 seconds. Instantly cast Lava Burst and will refresh your Flame Shock to 18 seconds. And then if you take this, Ascendance will last 18 seconds. Okay, I mean, where would I be taking this Ascendance in a fire build? I'd be coming like this way, right? Shock, Elemental Blast. I'd be having like the fire stuff, and then I would take it. I'd probably skip these two, maybe in a fire build, and I'd come over here. Okay. And then I would take this or this, depending on if I want a 2-minute cooldown or if I want a 25% haste during my 3-minute cooldown. So that's pretty cool for different fight types. Stormkeeper still here. We've talked about this. We've talked about this. Here it is. Fury of the Storms. Activating Stormkeeper summons a powerful lightning elemental. This is what I was thinking of before. To fight for your side for 8 seconds. And then this over here would increase that by 20%, which would be another 1.5 seconds or something. So now what's interesting is it says activating Stormkeeper. I assume that doesn't mean casting Stormkeeper, because we would obviously not want that 8 seconds to begin between packs, like running from one pack to another. You tend to cast Stormkeeper to have it ready, so that you're not spending 1.5 seconds at the start of a pack casting it. So I hope that casting the Chain Lightning is what activates the Lightning Elemental. We will test that in a second as well. Flame Shock, damage over time, critical strikes, reduce the cooldown. Yep. Of Elemental. And 50% chance to crit. Yep, that Skybreaker's demise thing. We've had that before. Splintered Elements, 20% haste. And 4% for each additional wave. Yep, we've had that before as well. And now the capstones, we've got Echoes of Great Sundering. After casting Earth Shock, your next Earthquake deals more damage. Elemental Blast, your next Earthquake deals more damage. So this is the old legendary from Shadowlands that we have yet again. I thought this was a really cool playstyle. So that is an option. Deeply Rooted Elements, also an option. Lightning Rod, very good. I really enjoy this talent as well. Primal Elementalist, 80% more powerful, and they get extra ability, and you can control them. So this is a very cool for your, for the cooldown build. And last one is Liquid Magma Totem, which is a way to spread tons of earth shocks, fire shocks. What am I talking about? So that is that. I want to test this and this specifically to make sure when this elemental spawns. To do that, we're going to have to fill out this tree over here. All right, we get to start with Chain Lightning up here and Lava Burst up here. We've got Astral Shift here. We've got the cooldown of Astral Shift reduced, or more damage reduction. I think 40% is enough, so let's have more cooldown. Spirit Wolf gains you movement speed and damage reduction. That's the same as before. I was always a big fan of Thunderous Paws. I think it's fun. It's silly, but it's fun. Wind Shear is right at the top here. You've still got the reduce the damage here. You've got the Ancestral Wolf affinity here. Cap Totem, less cooldown on Cap Totem. You've got Earth Grab is on its own now. Earth Shield is on its own over here now. Healing Stream's quite high up now. Spirit Walk and Gust of Wind. Gust of Wind has been buffed, 20-second cooldown. Big fan of that. Frost Shock snare its targets by an additional 10% and its duration is increased, or enemies within 10 yards of your Frost Shock are snared by 30%. Pretty cool node there. Get Regular Purge, get Brimming with Life, get Earth Elemental. This is newly on this tree here. 5% damage reduction during your elemental, any elemental. I wonder if this works with this talent here. We'll test that as well. Windrush is over here, and then we've got new thing. Windrush Totem's cooldown is reduced by 30 seconds as its movement speed lasts, so you're even faster on a 1.5 minute cooldown. Or Windrush's movement speed bonus is increased and now removes snares. Now, I assume that snares is not roots, but snares could be dots that slow you. So, for example, in holes of, what's it called? You know, the big dragons that put the slow and the dot on you, or the bats in Shadow Mirror Burial Grounds, or whatever it's called, Shadow thing. Yeah, anyway, there's dots that slow you. Does this cleanse those dots as well as the snare? That would be cool, because that's what Disengage does for Hunter. So that'd be awesome. Nature's Guardian is back. Looks like it's a bit... 27% of your maximum health. That's an odd number. But okay. Sure. Tremor Totem's here. Elemental Warning is still here. 6% is nice. Thunder Stomp. I'm going to call it Thunder Stomp forever. Don't at me. Is still there. Totemic Focus. Radius of your totems increased. Duration of Earthbind, Earth Grab increased. Increase the duration of Healing Stream, Tremor, Poison Cleansing, and Windrush. Pretty good. Reduce the cooldowns of your totems just passively. We've got Totemic Recall, and we've got affects an additional totem. Resets the cooldown of your most recently used totem, also to be double. That's pretty good. What's this here? Weapon imbues are increased, so you probably get the critical strike and the weapon imbues. Interrupting a spell with Wind Shear decreases your damage taken from that spell score by 15% for 18 seconds, stacking up to 2 times. This is pretty nice. I think that's going to be really useful in Mythic Plus, to be honest. If you kick a shadow spell, then for 18 seconds, all the other shadow spells is like from that pack that's casting on you all is reduced by 15%, and it can stack and win. She's only got a 12-second cooldown, so it would stack. It's pretty badass. Okay, Poison Cleanse. This is new. So you've got Thunder Shock, which is the up instead of away, but now this one is a new one. Thunderstorm can now be cast on allies within 20 yards, 40 yards. Reducing enemies' movement speed by 60% and knock enemies even further. So you're going to cast Traveling Storms on someone else, and it's going to blast stuff away. That is going to be such a troll. This is like one of the most potential trolls you've ever seen. Stone Bulwark Totem summons a totem with loss of health at the feet of the caster. Actually, there's no health at all. 30 seconds, granting the caster a shield, absorbing a lot of damage for 10 seconds. And up to an additional 10% of that every 5 seconds. So this is a new big defensive for Shamans. Big fan of that. Lightning Lasso is totally OP. I love Lightning Lasso. Mana Spring, actually going to be useful now. Nature Swiftness again is here. When you became immune to silence, yep. Reduces the cooldown of Spirit Walker's Grace, yep. So you can get your Spirit Walker's Grace. Okay, we're going to go with this for now. I need to put a few more things in over here. We're going to get this. We're going to get this. We're going to get this and this. And I wanted to take this as well just to find out what that's like. So we're not going to get Ascendance for a moment here. Okay. Right. We're plugging this in. We're going to push some buttons. I've got nothing set up. So I'm going to pause this, move my buttons. Okay, we're back. The bars are set up. We have got... I didn't realize this was like a buff for your shield. Imbue your shield with the element of lightning for 1 hour, giving them lightning bolt and chain lightning. It's pretty cool. And this is Flame Tongue. And there we go. So I'll head this way. Okie dokie. Now I'm going to put on... So we got Lightning Shield on. We got Mana Spring on. We've got Thunderstrike Ward on. We've got Flame Tongue on. And Sky Fury is not working, but we're going to have Sky Fury on as well. So there's a ton of stuff. Okay, so what I mainly want to do is just test this Lightning Elemental guy. And there he is. Okay, I think this is a problem because he's going to disappear before I've even attacked. Boom, there he goes. I don't like that because I want to cast my Stormkeeper like as we run up to a pack, right? I don't really want to do it when I'm in the pack already. So maybe for... maybe this will not be particularly strong for Mythic Plus, but then I can't get Lightning Rod without it. So that's my first bit of feedback. Yeah, obviously I will let experts of the spec sort it out for me. Sorry about that. Phone rang. Yep, the end of this video is getting a bit dodgy. I am no expert to work out what is good and what's not. Just wanted to show you the rework and lots of things that are going on. I'm going to test it for this week and we'll have some feedback later. Good luck. Have fun. Bye.